Welcome to Winging It. This is our final deck upgrade video for our Taboo, Diana and Preston campaign. We had 4 XP earned, plus Diana had banked 1 XP, and of course she has 2 from Arcane Research. So quickly, I've played the last scenario of the campaign once, and that was like 2 days ago. So it's fresh in my mind, but of course I did that 4-player, and I'm not sure how it's going to translate to 2-player. But what I do know is there's some enemies that have some high fight values. So because of that, we are going to use 2 of our XP from Arcane Research to get rid of our trade out our shriveling for a higher level shriveling, and then we're going to use 2 of our 5 XP to trade out for another shriveling. So level 5 shriveling will give us 2 horror, which if we draw a picture token, but it hits for 3 and gives her +1, another +1 fight. So she's at +3 willpower to with shriveling. Now this is a little bit nervous because she's starting with 3 horror and she only can take 7. But we do have counterspell, and we do have I've had worse, which could turn that into resources and card draw. So that's nice. And on that note, I will say that I have been super impressed with how I've had worse functioned. That is such a good card that I really wish I had had 2 of those. I would have gotten them early on in the campaign for her, and I think it would have helped a lot of the economy issues that I felt like I struggled with. So I'm definitely using 2 more XP to put in another I've had worse. And for that, I'm going to go ahead and take out a Drawn to the Flame. I think Preston is just good. He's got the Teslas clues under wrap. He hasn't had too much trouble getting those clues. And so we're just going to go ahead and drop Drawn to the Flame, and also not have to worry about drawing an extra encounter card. Finally, we have 1 XP to spend, and this is, I almost debated. I debated not spending it. But at the end of the day, again, I said that there's large fight values at the end of this. So I'm going to put in a cheeky Ace of Swords. So we're just going to take out one of our Dark Prophecies. We've got more cancels, so we've got a place to put in to get rid of a Dark Prophecy, and the tokens can get pretty rough. So maybe it's okay to lose a Dark Prophecy, and we'll go ahead and grab an Ace of Swords. I don't know if she'll be able to pay for it. Of course, if she gets an opening hand, that's pretty nice. But certainly, with Beat Cop, and with an automatic, she'd be able to go at 7, which is better than 6 when we've got some enemies with a 5 fight. So again, not totally convinced that was the way to go, but and it's only 1 card in a deck of 35 cards, so who knows if I'll even see it. But anyway, that's where I'm going with Diana, and now let's take a look at Preston. So here's Preston's deck. Going into the last scenario, I'm very happy with pretty much everything in this deck. I've gotten all the upgrades that I really wanted to get. I mean, I think maybe the only thing I would have maybe gotten was another level 2 sneak attack, but Small Favor seems to be doing the trick. So happy with that. I have 4 XP to spend. I do really like the initial boost to get him started with another day, another $1. So for 3 XP, I'm going to spend another one of those. So, and then for my last XP, I'm going to go ahead and get another Test of Will. I didn't use one last time, but that's fine. It would have exiled it anyway. Now I have 2 going into the final scenario, and of course there are some brutal ones because this is the final scenario. Some brutal encounter cards to get rid of. I have to replace a card. I'm actually, although it served me really well in this last scenario, I'm going to get rid of both of my Lone Wolves, and that's really just because I know the way this last scenario works, that it's a kind of a tight map, and you have to come together at least 3 different times or be together. Yeah, at least 3 different times during the scenario. So I just think the Lone Wolf will not get much of a return. So taking that out, and then I have one more card to replace in, I'm going to go ahead and throw in another Trial by Fire. So that should be nice. I didn't use it last scenario. I drew it like last turn when it wasn't that important, but I think it has a lot of potential for Preston. So I'd like to give it a shot and see how it works. Anyway, so this is my final deck going into Before the Black Throne, and I'm super excited, and I hope you guys will see me there.